Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Unbettable. I'm Mondo here today with just Gary. Holmes is out sick. The boy is down bad. He got the unbettable flu that Gary and I have battled over the past couple months. We wish Holmes well. He will be back for our Super Bowl special that will be debuting Saturday, sometime during the day. We're still working it out, but it's going to be an action-packed episode full of all the best personalities in big dog media. Get ready, get excited. It's about to be a good fucking time. And it's also why we haven't really talked Super Bowl. Like we're saving it all for that.
It's gonna be
Um,
fun.
Gary, you were obviously on Barroom Boys yesterday, but for those that haven't watched or are going to watch later, we'll do it here. How was your weekend? What's been going on? How you doing?
We got winners. We got losers. Chain smokers and boozers. We got yuppies. We got bikers. We got thirsty hitchhikers. And the girls next door dress up like movie stars. I love this bar. I love this bar. It's my kind of place. Just walking through the front door puts a big smile on my face. It ain't too far. Come as you are. I love this bar. Ski.
Rest in peace to an absolute legend. I mean, a heartbreaking way to wake up this morning. Toby Keith has unfortunately passed away. I'll be honest, I didn't really know his music that well. I obviously knew of him. There's no way you don't know of him if you're any sort of related to music. Um, my favorite song was obviously Red Solo Cup. It's a college staple for most day part or darties, I guess. But yeah, just heartbreaking. I don't really know what to say, man.
Dude, it sucks. America just became less American with the
It
death of
did.
Toby Keith. And, I didn't know that he had been sick for so long. Apparently, he had stomach cancer for the past 3 years.
Yeah, I didn't know about the cancer. I did see a picture of him at an awards show or some kind of premiere, and he looked way skinnier than he
Mm-hmm.
did, a few years back. So, putting two and two together, it's like, okay, he was obviously battling, something. Stomach cancer makes the most sense. I mean, the guy is, let's face it, he was flesh and bones at that point.
Yeah.
But just heartbreaking, man. Absolutely heartbreaking. Nobody supported the troops more than that man did. Nobody drank beer like he did at the country scene. I mean, the man was just, he
American.
was just a legend. He was American, red, white, and blue. His pet was an eagle. I don't know if that's true, but I'd like to believe it is. So just a tough way to wake up. I mean, there's not many worse ways to wake up than that.
Yeah. It was
Just like a death is just tough.
it was definitely a shocker, but this has kind of thrown my brain off because you asked me how my weekend went. My weekend was good. Um, I kind of feel like I fell asleep and woke up and somehow we're talking about Toby Keith, but yeah, it was good. It was just this morning that was a tough one. That wasn't on my bingo card for this year for sure.
Hell no.
So,
Hell no.
you know, prayers up to his family. We love you, Toby. I know Jack
Yeah.
Weber loves you, Toby, because he's posted about you about 5 times today.
Yeah. Jack Weber is your number one fan. So
Yeah.
make sure to watch over Webby while you're up there.
He's already getting watched over by Jimmy Buffett, though.
Yeah.
Old man.
Man, I'm a pair ahead. Jimmy Buffett's mine. I'm going to claim Jimmy Buffett over Webb.
I feel like I kind of forgot about that one. Was Jimmy Buffett this year or last year?
Last September,
Damn.
I remember because I was at Julie's house and it was a weekend. The Labor Day weekend was when it was
Damn.
because there was all the football on. I woke up and it was just like, yeah, man, Jimmy Buffett, he gone. And I was like, fuck. Like, I grew up like a little kid. I was singing songs like Cheeseburger in Paradise, Fins, like, and then you grow up, you're listening to Margaritaville and, the tie-in with the Zach Brown band and the songs there. And it's like, that he was just part of me growing up and he's just gone. And that just hurts. And
It's
that's kind of the only way I relate to the Toby Keith people. It's just like this shit hurts. Death's never easy, and
It's just so it's
miserable.
weird, as we grow up and like, all these stars and celebrities that are genuinely good people and are actually talented when compared to like celebrities that are up and coming nowadays. It's like it's weird, You look at, for example, a band like Aerosmith. I mean, Steven Tyler's like in his late 70s now. It's it's crazy. There's gonna be like I feel like a span of 5 years coming up here in the next decade or so where we're just gonna be watching people drop and it's gonna be weird.
Yeah. What a way to start the podcast, man. I mean, we're really starting on a high note here.
Yeah, I mean, there are sports playing, but me and Mondo are not your NBA, NHL connoisseurs, so it's kind of like, we're just sitting here
Okay,
shooting the
relax. I'm
shit.
not the NHL. I do watch NBA.
Okay,
like,
sorry.
like, relax.
Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, none of the games have started yet, so that is valid. But yeah, man, just been a weird couple days. Like you could just tell there's something in the air that's just not right now. I think it all started with the Niners and Chiefs making it to the Super Bowl. That puts a sour taste in everyone's mouth. No one's excited for that now, and now it's Toby Keith. Like, just keeps getting worse. I don't know.
It's all the Grammys' fault too. The Grammys should be canceled.
Speaking of Grammys, you, you see what happened to Drake today?
No, I didn't know what you were talking about earlier when you said that.
There was a video leaked on either Twitter or the internet or something of Drake playing with himself.
Uh-uh.
And it's been trending on Twitter all day today.
I saw Kyle Rittenhouse was trending, but I didn't know why that.
um yeah, I don't think that's related to it at all. Um but I will say Drake is blessed in every facet of his life.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
I'm a little
Yeah,
concerned you found that quick.
I just typed in Drake on Twitter and I found it. I mean, I have socks on right now for those of you that know what that means. So a
You
man's
should
packing.
explain it to the people.
Now, I'm not going to go into detail about it, but what I'm saying is what I'm saying right now cannot be used or held against me in a court of not law, but in a court of you calling me out. Drake is packing. If that's actually him, he's got a schlong. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, I feel like there's no way to hate on it. Like the man's just blessed.
Yeah, he's just jerking
Like
his
I
shit.
don't know what to say. Like, I I'm not small by any means, but I'm damn near not a fucking rope hanging out my pants. Like I don't know, man. It's just like that man's always just blessed. Everything he does just turns to gold.
I wasn't expecting that.
This fucking podcast is just already derailed beyond belief. Um,
I was
yeah,
expecting like a little one, but nah, that's
no,
big and
and you can't really sue for that either. Like, I feel like that's a bad look if Drake sues because like everyone's hyping it up.
I wouldn't sue. Dude, if my dick was that big, I'd want everybody to see it.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
ashamed
don't
to say my
know.
dick is not as big as Drake's because it's true, dude. That his dick is huge.
Yeah.
Damn, Drake.
Anyway, did you see what Kadarius Toney was doing lately? Just to
No,
bring
I
it
didn't
back
see
to
this.
sports.
I didn't see this either.
Um, Kadarius Toney is, as we know, not the smartest, not the sharpest tool in the shed, not the sharpest knife in the drawer, whatever you want to call him. He keeps reiterating that he's not hurt. Um, and that he hasn't been shitting on the Chiefs on social media, which, I don't know if CTE is at play here, but I vividly remember a video of him shitting on Mahomes and Andy Reid, saying that he wasn't injured. I don't know. Maybe I have CTE, but I think this guy's a fucking moron at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad because it's almost like what happened with Antonio Brown, where he started using his platform for not good things, you know? And then he started falling off as an overall player. And then,
Yeah.
you look at KT and it's kind of just the same narrative. Like, I'm just waiting for him to rip his shirt off and run off the field. Like, it's coming. But, go Gator.
That's not a time we do go Gator. That is very much not a time to do go Gator. Um, yeah, no, it's just interesting to watch him unravel as an NFL player. I don't know if you saw this story, but allegedly there's an NFL player in Vegas that got attacked by a coyote. My initial take is that the Chiefs keep finding new ways to take Kadarius Toney out the lineup for Sunday. But that's just me. I don't know for sure. That's just the way I thought of it. That's all I'm saying. But what an unreal story if that turns out to be true.
Yeah, I don't know. The Super Bowl in Vegas is crazy to me. Like, not that it shouldn't be happening, because I think, it was written in the stars. You have to have some crazy event at Vegas like this. But
Yeah.
like, with everything going on in Vegas, like, the releasing of the sphere and like, just all the shit we've heard about with like the private jet landing spaces all be taken up. And then I saw a TikTok today about what you get with your $2.5 million suite. And it was like Wagyu, hot dogs, popcorn, crab, open bar, and like some other hors d'oeuvre type things. And I just can't imagine. Like, I understand if you have money to blow like that, go ahead, bro. Like, that's a
Mhm.
once in a lifetime kind of experience. But $2.5 million to sit there and watch, like, arguably, like, I mean, people wanted to see the Niners make it because of Brock Purdy. We'll say that. But, like, I would have rather, if it was $2.5 million to go see the Lions versus anybody, like, I would see the worth in it. But I don't know. It just kind of makes me upset, bro. Like I know we've been talking a lot about money on the pod recently, especially with like, college players becoming a union and all this other shit. And it's so evident to me now that I'm grown up and I like study this shit that literally everything in life is money. And like if you
Yep.
don't have it, you don't have it. And it makes more sense to me now, like just everything. It's just weird.
Yep, Gary. Welcome to real life. You learn very quickly. Um, I'm gonna keep it a buck. $2.5 million. If I'm dropping that, like I'm not trying to eat crab and like oysters and wagyu. Like I better see, the crusty crab vault of burgers stacked high in the room. I better see like, a buffalo chicken dip the size of a swimming pool in my suite. Like I want to see the junk food, the football food. I don't want to see any of these, like you need your tiny little fucking fork to pick it up and eat it type shit. That's just me though. And I know we're going to get to that later in the episode, but like that is not worth $2.5 million. And it's just the whole idea behind the NFL being a business that pisses me off because you're ultimately ruining the product for the casual fan. And more specifically, the hardcore fans as well. Because you're making it all about stuff that brings in money, not about the actual game itself like it used to be. So from that point of view, I am very annoyed with the NFL. Like I said, it's no surprise I've always been very vocal about governing bodies over leagues, like the NCAA, like we talked about yesterday, the NFL. Like I am very vocal that it should be a player-led thing, and the players are the product. Let them design how the league looks. And it just gets frustrating when you can clearly see, plain as day, the NFL is just only going for what makes the most money. You know, Taylor Swift makes a lot of money. Now, I'm not hating on Taylor Swift, but you can't deny that the NFL is throwing that in the front lines of headlines versus someone like, so did you know Simone Biles has a husband on the Chiefs? I bet you didn't. I don't know if it's the Chiefs, but she has a husband in the NFL. Greatest gymnast of all time. Nobody would know about it. Or like another example is, putting the game on Peacock. Now, granted, I work for ESPN. We do a lot of things with streaming. But I'm just as pissed off as the next person that we're hiding games behind a paywall. Like that shit is infuriating to me.
Well, Peacock is free, right?
No, it's not.
Oh, I thought for the longest, well, because like another example of that is Amazon Prime, because I know Amazon Prime isn't free.
No.
Somehow I just have it. I don't know how it gets paid. I've looked at all my cards and I don't
I
see any, if
don't
Amazon's
know.
watching this, just let me keep my account. But
Yeah.
and the Amazon Prime games were so dog shit too, bro. I swear there was maybe like one or two good games on
I
Thursday
mean,
this year.
it feels like Thursday night football, instead of becoming that marquee matchup that it used to be, is now just, hey, let's get a shitty game out of the way so that we have more attention towards Sunday.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what it
fair.
feels like it's become now. And I truthfully I don't mind it. Like if it's a Thursday and there's football on, like I'm obviously gonna watch football. Like that's never gonna change. So it's a smart strategy, but it's just like it feels like the NFL, and I know for a fact it's the way the NFL works, but they only care about the money. They don't care about the experience anymore, and it's becoming clearer and clearer every single day. Like Adele just said, yeah, I'll never pay-per-view a Super Bowl. I call bullshit on that. I think eventually he's gonna try and put it in pay-per-view, and everyone's gonna fucking riot.
That'll be the
Like
death of the league.
that shit's just infuriating to me, man. And it's so frustrating because it's a sport I absolutely love. And take MLB for example. They're trying to put out products that are better for the viewer, quicker games, more action, less shifts, less defense, more offense. The NFL is doing the exact opposite. And, because it's the NFL, they get away with it, but it ruins the experience for everybody else. Like that, I don't know. And maybe I'm just alone here, but it's frustrating to me. You know, I don't know what's so funny,
I feel like I'm in like an Xbox Live party at like 3 a.m. This is what this conversation reminds me of. We're just
dude. I
talking.
know, I
I'm
know.
sorry, y'all. There's not the betting scene right now is just, it's kind of down. Like,
Put it this way: we're at the point in the podcast week and the schedule of the year to where we don't really want to talk about the Super Bowl because we have what could be a 3 hour long episode that's coming out this weekend dedicated to the Super Bowl and dedicating a lot of our time and effort. So we're saving a lot of those stories, which is the majority of the headlines. And you know, from an NBA betting point of view, like I don't have any bets today. I might have some tomorrow if we do record, but everything that I'm kind of pushing for and prepared for is going into this 3 hour episode. So, like, you know, if you don't like this episode, so be it. But at the same time, just know it's because we're saving everything for this fucking banger that we're working on. I promise you that. Like, that's a guarantee.
I will be singing the national anthem
Yeah,
or the
we will have
episode.
a halftime show too. We're gonna have all the personalities of Unbettable and Big Dog Media in general hopping on and doing some stuff. It's gonna be incredible. It's gonna be a great show. It'll be better than last year's. The only caveat, though, and unfortunately, I have to say it up front, Frank the Tank has the live dozen performance. I already talked to him. He will not be making it on, and it's heartbreaking. But there is a chance he comes on to preview baseball. So do with that as you wish, but we will not have Frank the Tank this year, which is heartbreaking for me. Um,
One thing I do want to touch on, I guess, is kind of I was thinking about making this my own video, but I'll just do it now since we really don't have much to talk about. Just a general thank you to everybody who watches and supports us. The growth that we've witnessed over the past month since I've started my internship is just absolutely astronomical. I'm just going to throw some numbers out there, for example. When I picked up this internship, we had 66 subscribers on the YouTube. Currently, we have 128 subscribers. Whenever I picked up the Instagram yesterday, we had 16 followers. Today, Mondo, you want to guess how many we have?
I think it's like 80 something last I
88.
checked.
88. The Twitter. The Twitter was also around about 60 when I picked it up. Oh my God, I almost shit my pants. That's my Twitter. I was like, why do we have 17 followers? We have 176 followers on the Unbettable Twitter. So thank you to everybody who's been supporting. If any of the Chi-Fi guys are watching this, I know I'm up your ass all the time about watching our shit, but it really means a lot to me and Mondo and Hart and
Mm-hmm.
everybody that's a part of this. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Um, to put it, you know, in perspective, I work a full time job. It's hard for me to work, record, edit, upload, and do socials. So when Gary came to me asking for an internship and, you know, something that we kind of mapped out was him taking over the socials. And my dude, as much as you know I shit on you, as much as the viewers know I shit on you and poke fun at you, you've been doing an incredible job. I'm very proud of you. You have been killing it. I hope we can continue this and that we can actually bring you on with, you know, payment and stuff come, you know, the end of the year.
Yeah.
If we just keep up the growth, you know, people keep watching, like eh, you've done an incredible job and the best is yet to come, right? We're just getting started.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like what we do here is honestly the modern day American dream. It's like being able to be in the comfort of our own homes and talk
Mm-hmm.
about shit we love and get recognized for it. And I think
Yep.
that's like the most amazing feeling, especially, my dad called me today and was like, "Oh, I was listening to the new podcast you did with Greg." Like, and that was just, obviously they know I do it, but do I think they listen to it? No. But to hear, my dad talking to me about it and like trying to give me pointers. First of all, I'm not a guy that takes constructive criticism very well. I get very offended very easily when it comes to that sort of shit. I kind of shut down.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've started doing this, I've realized that obviously I'm not the best at what I do. So it's cool to hear like your dad, like be happy for you with
Yeah.
like with something like this where I just sit in my room and record me like talking. And like honestly, it's like making me emotional talking about it now, but it's awesome and I appreciate everybody that watches this shit for real.
Yeah, and I mean, constructive criticism is what comes with the role. We all have areas to improve. Like, I've probably done 200 podcast episodes in total. Like, even I have a lot to improve on when it comes to just talking on a podcast in general, flow of conversations, making sure what we upload is top tier. But, it started off as the Barroom Boys. We were putting out 3 episodes a week for a while. It was literally just me doing everything. I got burnt out. We took like a several month hiatus. And then, someone from our office lit a fire under me. And I won't say who, but it pissed me off to the point where I wanted to prove myself, and I'll continue trying to prove myself to put out the best product, to take over the scene. That is my goal. And, since we came back, we've now launched 3 shows. We have Super Bowl specials. We've had our white whale of a guest, Frank the Tank, come on. We're growing every day thanks to Gary handling the socials. Like, we are just getting started, and we are beyond, beyond excited for the future. We just hope that you guys can help share it, get on the back of the ride, whatever you want to call it.
Be a
Just
day
be there
one.
with us. We're here for you guys. Like, this is a family here at this point. And, we thank you for everything so far. I know it's not a lot yet, but we're getting there. And the more time that we have and the more people that follow, it gives Gary an opportunity to do this full time. It gives me the opportunity to, make some money on some of the investments I've made, and to kind of recoup so that we could buy other assets and go this way and go that way. So just overall, thank you to everyone who watches. Gary, thank you for what you've been doing so far. Like I said, I know I fuck with you a lot. You're like a little brother to me. I mean, it's just that's how we always are.
Yeah,
But you've really been doing a great fucking job, and I'm very proud of you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, honestly, I wish y'all that watch could see some of the shit that me and Mondo and Hot and
Mm-hmm.
Beat have all done together off the
It's a
show.
lot.
Like we have it's definitely like Mondo said, it's definitely a family that's just like was all I mean, it was essentially made possible because, we all joined the same fraternity, but
Mm-hmm.
it's when you if you're in a fraternity, you have those guys that you will always be like in contact with and always, want to be a part of each other's lives, and that's kind of what this show is we're all guys that like, this is of course an opportunity for us to record and like talk to one another, but like whenever I get to hop on Barroom Boys, I love it because
Mm-hmm.
Beat works a full-time job, Hod works a full-time job, and it's the one time in the week where I can just hop on and just be like, "Hey, Beef," like, and just flick him off. Like it's just, and
Mm-hmm.
you should have seen the shit he was saying last night on the fucking TikTok. He he went in the comments and he was saying some bullshit. Hold on.
I mean, he always is, though. Let's be real. For you guys that don't know that are watching, so this whole Beef Gary dynamic started in college. So when Gary rushed, he was obviously a pledge, so we like to fuck with him the most because he was a terrible pledge.
Yeah,
And then fast forward to my junior year, Beeve and I, Proc and Zabelli all lived together. Gary was at our place at least once a day, just hanging out and shooting the shit and messing with us.
doing college kid
Um,
shit.
yeah, just dumb shit. So then fast forward to the house, my spot is the one that's popping. Everyone's coming in and out. Pause. Everyone's coming in and out of the room all the time. And what started up is like a little rivalry almost. And it was Gary and Beef. And it would start through video games and stuff like that. And then I turned it into this whole series, and I kind of like commissioned a Gary versus Beeve matchup. And I think there were three of them, three best of fives or something like that. And we would do this like every couple months or so. Everyone loved it. And, it's just that kind of a friendship that started there. Like, you get into real life and it's tough to always be talking to people. And, there's not always that crossover of time. And so when I get those opportunities to bring Gary on, to run the trivia, to mess with Beeve and vice versa, like it brings me back to college days and the good memories and, all the fun that we still have together. We never skip a beat. So, it's cool. Obviously, we're still a small group. There were a lot more of us when we started this Big Dog Media journey, but there's been a core that's developed along the way that have been busting their asses nonstop. And it's a journey that, regardless of how it goes, hopefully positive, we'll have these memories forever. And that'll be that.
Yeah, I mean, running a podcast is really, I wouldn't say it's difficult, but I would say that it's a commitment that you have to be
Mhm.
passionate about. And if I'm gonna keep it a buck, whenever I first signed on to do my internship, it was basically because I was lazy and I didn't want to
Mhm.
go out and find something. So I was like, all right, this is kind of a shot in the dark type of thing. Let's see how this goes. And honestly, it's become something that everybody knows me for now. I mean, at least my friends, it's not like I go out to Publix and they're like, oh, you're the guy from Big Dog Media. It's not like that, but it's like my friends are all like, hey, how's the podcast going? And
Mhm.
some people are more insincere about the whole question. It's more just a clown on me, but there are some people that are really like into it and people that really watch it, and it's so weird because it's like, when I'm sending these links in the group chat, it's of course for growth, but I'm not really expecting anybody to follow along with it. And then whenever I go out with those people and they're like, "Oh, I saw this on the episode the other day,"
Mhm.
it's a cool feeling. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
like people actually fuck with this. And then like I was talking about earlier with my dad and constructive criticism, I get it from my friends too. And it's kind of rewarding in a way because it's like people are paying attention to what you're doing, and it's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
But
And go ahead.
no, I was just saying we went on a tangent, so we could talk about the draft if you want. But
We'll get there, but it's like, nobody's a harsher critic of you than I am, I feel. And I feel like I do it with the best intentions to try and build you into what I think you can be. You are becoming that slowly but surely.
yeah,
You've
I mean,
been working hard. This is the hardest I've ever seen you work. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but
it's true. Yeah,
you've been busting your ass. And like I said, I'm proud of you. We still got a long way to go. Like, what you guys don't see is we're going to record this. Today is Gary's turn to edit. While he's editing, I'm designing stuff for Thursday's recording. We're also going to be diving into potentially new recording software. Like, there's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes each and every day to where it's like, I don't really do much other than work and focus on podcasts. Like, that's it.
yeah,
I don't have time to do other stuff. Like, I was talking about it today. Like, I am not in good shape right now. I need to get healthier. And I know I'm going to start doing it after the Super Bowl, but I'm so locked in on what we're doing here and what I'm doing at work that I just don't have time to be, Mr. Uber gym guy like I used to be.
yeah,
So, like, I'm doing it to try and grow something that I can be proud of and I can look back on and say, hey, man, I gave my best effort here. And I know that we put out the best stuff we can, whether it's, we blow up into a success or, it ends up not working out. But I know in my heart that I busted my ass, and that's all I can say.
yeah.
So,
I feel like because I check the YouTube often just to look for view counts and just numbers shit because I started a spreadsheet yesterday where I'm keeping track of weekly numbers and I stumbled across a video from a year ago that was of course Barroom Boys because that was the only show we had at the time. And just looking at the quality of
Mm.
those episodes to where we are now, it's like it doesn't even look the same. Like Mondo is sitting in this room with nothing behind him, and he's just like this, and he has this little silver dildo microphone in front of him. Beef looks like he's fucking talking to you on like a space computer because he's like his face is made of like six different pixels. And then Hod's just always stayed the same, but Hod is Hod. He's always been he's a chiller. So there's
Hot
nothing
is hot. He's my favorite monotone friend. I love
exactly.
Hot to death. And
Exactly.
I know it drives some people crazy that he's that monotone, but you guys don't see it because he has to stay more professional because of his job. But once again, if this growth thing keeps going and we can bring Hot in full time, you will see who Hot really is. Hot is a clown. That man likes nothing more than to fuck around with the boys. But because he's working, he has to keep it more serious. Same with Beeve. Beeve's a little more, easy going with it, but those two can't promote the podcast because it interferes with their social media clauses for work.
Yeah.
So
If I
it's frustrating as shit, but if we get to that point where we can make this that big thing, you will see the full personalities. You will hear the real stories of like us in college doing the stuff that we were doing. And that's what blows it up. We just can't do it because we're fucking working. That's why.
yeah.
That's the tough part, man. That's the tough part.
Yeah.
But a couple years down the road, if this is still going well, you know, maybe we'll bring in a podcast that just focuses on the dumb shit we did.
I mean,
You never know.
I could go on for days about
I
Hodska.
mean, everyone only knows me as the fucking sports guy. You guys never saw or heard about the stories in college. Your boy was a fucking madman back then. Gary still is a madman. No, don't do that.
Oh, I was talking about me. That's just me. I used to be like that. And it's kind of funny because I remember Mondo's mom watched one of our early episodes and was like, "Who's the guy that's like stoned out of his mind in the corner?" My eyes are just currently like they're permanently like this. Like they will never change. My eyes are always just like it's just it's what college does to you, bro. It's just it's awesome though. It's
Yeah. It's been a journey. We look forward to, what the future holds. Obviously, this isn't your typical unbettable episode. I don't have any NBA bets today because I have all these football bets this weekend. Like the only thing we're really tackling today is the graphics. So, I figured at least we could give a little insight into what we do. I feel like that would be a good topic, you know.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, we'll wrap that up there and we'll save the rest for another day. Today's graphic is a little bit different. We're kind of heading into that Super Bowl stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of different graphics you can do a Super Bowl, so we can't just have one that we're holding hostage. So today will be the best Super Bowl foods. Gary, like I always do, I have a list of 10. I sent it in the chat. I'll read through it and then you and I will go through and rank them. And then I will post a graphic on Twitter. Oh,
Jose Altuve just signed a 5-year extension with the Astros.
congrats, Astros. That's a waste of money. Good for you. Attaboy. Um, but yeah, you know, let's get into it. I'll read them off real quick. We thank you guys again for watching, listening to that. Sometimes you just need that off your chest, you know. So we have buffalo chicken dip, we have pizza, wings, nachos, chips and salsa, a separate, variation, burgers, hot dogs, potato skins, Philly cheesesteak, and tacos. Now, some of you are asking, where are the carrots and celery? They're not on this bitch. This is real football food we're talking about here. None of this horse shit green stuff.
You bring a veggie platter to the Super Bowl party, get the fuck out.
Like I would take your platter, throw it in the trash, and kick you out.
Yeah,
Straight up. I get you may be a health nut. This is the Super Bowl. This is like justifiably one of those holidays that you can just eat like shit.
I mean, a charcuterie board though, I could get down
Yeah,
with that.
charcuterie. Look, that hits.
I could
That
get down
hits,
with that.
but you can't really have charcuterie because it's like 400 different board or foods.
Yeah.
So like that's the only reason why it's not on here.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess I'll start it off. Wings top. I mean, I feel like that's just a given. I mean, if you're from the South like us and you know what Publix is and you go there and you try to buy a pack of their wings on Super Bowl Sunday, I'll pray for you. You're gonna be there at least 2 hours waiting for them things. Ain't no way you're getting them. So
Yeah, I think your top three has got to be wings, pizza, and chicken dip. I think that's got to be the 1 through 3. I mean, those are universally at I feel like every single Super Bowl party.
yeah,
Um,
buffalo chicken dip is like a food that I feel like has really become like staple. I feel like
it
it kind
is
of started
definitely a
off as like
staple.
a niche kind of thing where some people would get it and then you'd introduce your friends to it. But now, like, again, if you go to Publix, they sell their own buffalo chicken dip. So,
It is fire too. It's
yeah,
good.
it'll fuck your stomach up though. So you got to be careful.
That is true. But it's like, so those are obvious locks for the top three. Then I just feel like it's interchangeable all the way down. You know, it also depends on the party. I feel like nachos would be a smart number 4, but also like burgers would make sense there. Tacos are becoming a staple very quickly. Cheesesteaks are a football. Like, yeah, you can go anywhere with this list.
One thing I will say about tacos, my grandma makes this 7-layer dip. I'm sure some people have heard of it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's essentially a taco but in a dip. And I feel like that shit hits. Because I mean, it's like a taco on every bite. So that could just be some white people shit. I don't know. Probably is, but it's good.
Yeah.
That was just
Anyway, back to our list. Um, would you go nachos or burgers at 4?
I feel like I would go nachos just because like at a Super Bowl party, like the ideal food setup is just kind of shit that you can grab and throw all on a plate together.
Yeah.
And like I feel like nachos are just like something easy where if you wanted to go up and like get another serving and all the shit is right there. So
Mhm.
I would go nachos.
I feel like then you'd go burgers, right? Would burgers be the next one?
I feel like we're skipping a staple here. Chips and salsa.
Yeah,
It's not the best, but it is there at every Super Bowl party.
yeah, but the key to this is it's the best Super Bowl
Okay,
foods.
all right. Well then if we're gonna
So
go like
that's
that, then
why I'm like, it could go further down the list. Like,
yeah.
potato skins should be higher.
Potato skins makes a reappearance.
It does, dude. Potato skins are fire.
I might have to hop on this potato skin wave. I haven't had like a
Bro, you
good
could
potato
have.
skin in a while.
So last time I had some was from we went bar hopping for our 2-year anniversary.
Hmm.
There's this bar in Del Rey. It's called the Blue Anchor. And what it is it's a bar from London. They disassembled. They took it apart piece by piece and brought it over to Florida and reassembled it. And it's like an Americanized British pub. So they have all the cool beers and stuff, but they also have American food. Like we had, Parmesan truffle fries, potato skins, they had wings, burgers, like they had obviously some of the British staples, but we had the potato skins there, and brother, they were fire. Absolutely incredible.
This is super off topic as well, but British pubs, I think, are the best drinking environment you can ever experience. Like, I've never experienced a true British pub. I've never been to England or anything like that. But for my 21st birthday, I was in Epcot and we went to the England Pavilion, and I could tell you I got fucked up sideways at that pub. But it was just so
Gary.
easy because everybody there was just like, first of all, everybody's standing, but there's like places to lean on. So that's kind of cool. And like everybody's just fucking around with each other, and like and it has like a certain smell to it as well. It's almost like a vinegar kind of smell rather than
Yeah.
you go to an American bar, it just smells like throw up and piss and shit. Like it smells like vinegar. It's like
Gary, we went to London, you know, end of April last year. It is incredible. It is, I mean, we went to arguably the most popular pub in London for an Arsenal versus Man City match, which is fucking like one of the biggest matches that you could go see. It was awesome.
yeah.
Obviously, you have to be a little careful because, British people, there's sometimes like a disdainish kind of thing towards Americans, especially when drinks are flowing. So you got to be careful. But when you're in that environment, everyone's going fucking crazy. Like it was awesome, absolutely awesome. So,
Potato skins.
but yes, back to potato skins. Would you put that above or below burgers? So
Again, I'm going with the finger food vibes for Super Bowl, so I think I'd put those above burgers.
I think we do potato skins, burgers, and then chips and salsa, unless you want to go with one of the other major foods.
No, I feel like chips and salsa. And then what do we have left? Hot dogs, cheesesteak, tacos.
I feel like you got to go hot dog, taco, cheesesteak. I personally do not like hot dogs. That is just me though. Um, but as a staple, I feel like it has to be hot dog, taco, cheesesteak.
Hot dog, taco, cheesesteak. Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So we're gonna get so much shit, but that's the point of these things.
Yep.
Like we're not doing it to, please people. We're doing it to get people talking. So we got wings, pizza, chicken dip, nachos, potato skins, burgers, chips and salsa, hot dogs, tacos, and cheesesteak. Sound good? Then I'll
Yep.
throw carrots and celery on just because.
You should put that at the top.
No, never.
Sure.
But you have any NBA, NHL picks? I don't either.
Couldn't tell you who's playing tonight. One thing I did see though, the Cavs are on a heater right now, 14-1 in their last 15 games.
Yeah, Donovan
Um,
Mitchell definitely needs to be considered for MVP this year.
and I feel like that's something that you haven't heard of in a while. The Cavs doing
Mm.
something crazy. But there
Yeah,
is
they're
a
balling.
kind of statewide matchup today. You got Orlando versus Miami tonight in 20 minutes. Miami line currently set at -3.5. And I mean,
Look, at the end of the day, we all know I'm a Heat fan and I'll always ride for the Heat. We know that the regular season, for the most part, does not matter to the Heat. They always turn it up when it comes time for the playoffs. So I'm not worried. The only thing you could worry about is not making the playoffs, which there's always a possibility. So, in an ideal world, we're not in the play in this year, but if we are, we are. We'll just find a way like we always do. I'm not that worried about it. So
What
what?
was ESPN Bet just legalized in Florida?
Let me check.
Because I have the option on my ESPN app now to place bets.
Yeah, but it may be like,
I mean, it takes me to an outside app.
I mean,
It,
it's not showing up as legalized.
huh,
Put it this way, ESPN Bet is launched, like they are launched. But I don't think it's in Florida. I think once you try and place the bet, it'll
at
be
all.
similar to how Hard Rock was, to where it's like, it's not yet legalized. Make sure you are in one of these states, blah, 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 blah. Like, I think that's what it is.
Sure.
So,
Hmm.
what the fuck? Dude, Twitter's weird as shit. I'm not even gonna read that headline, but that was weird. But yeah, that'll do it for today's episode. Truthfully, I do not know if we're recording tomorrow. It would be very similar to what today is, so I don't think we will, and we're just gonna save everything up for Thursday. But if you guys enjoy, please like, subscribe, share with everyone you know. Like we said, we love you guys. We're putting in a lot of work behind the scenes, so it means a lot when you guys do click on and watch the video. We will see you guys on the next episode, which will be the Super Bowl special airing on Saturday. See you then. Peace.